Good evening and welcome to EBN TV. This is the Spheres of Life and we are coming live to you from Buru. Welcome and kindly let us know where you're listening us from. And there is a saying that goes, when under ants around the homestead, there is one time that you find yourself hunting domestic animals. So take care what you're doing in your life. And tonight's topic is the scarred footprint, and we are picking from where we left last Sunday. And with us is our guest. But before we get to that, there is something that we have to let you know, and we have to get to know where you are getting us from.
Hello and welcome my dear viewers to another episode of Spheres of Life, tackling the topic the scarred footprints, part 2 by our amazing guest Irene, who was here last time and is willing to continue and share with us an amazing story of herself and maybe get to encourage you, to entertain you, and maybe to enlighten you on something. So you can get us on our social media platforms. That's on YouTube, The Legend Productions, and also in Facebook and Instagram, Jeff Somba the Legend. So tell us where you're watching us from, whether you have a question to ask. Please feel free to ask, because Irene is here for you, and maybe also get to share maybe a comment or something that is of concern to you. Yeah.
Great information there. And finance bill and taxes are pushing people, making people run faster than they are supposed to run, even than they are supposed to behave in life. Because I forgot to tell you my name, I'm your host Jeff Kimayu Somba. Welcome to EBN TV. This is the Spheres of Life, and our guest is Irene. Welcome to EBN TV.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here today, and I'm really delighted to be with you, hosted by Jeff and Carol.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward, to talk to the viewers and give my story. Yeah.
That's great. And before we start off, if you have a story that is challenging, a story that is so hard on you, a story that we can share, a story that we can feature on the Spheres of Life, kindly get out to reach us or out on us, because we are here to talk, we are here to lift one another, we are here to make sure that you are lifted from where you are, because on the Spheres of Life, we believe that we are one and we are our own. So Irene, last Sunday we had an incredible story of your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And our seed breaks, and up to this moment now that you are trying to grow, we are trying to expand in any way.
Yes.
And because we know a seed germinates into a great tree or into a great plantation. So there is a place we left at. And before we get to where we left at, just a recap of who Irene is, because there are people out there who don't know who Irene is, and maybe they don't know how you were here, that you were here last Sunday.
Great. Yeah, again, my name is Irene Joel, and I'm a daughter for Joel Kingoli, and I'm a mother, married by Joel Musyoki, and I'm so glad to be here and do a recap for last Sunday. And my recap is just in brief. I come from Makueni, and from Makueni I attended my school from Makueni Primary School. Secondary school I attended in Machakos, and now with challenges that I passed through, it molded me to who I am. And those challenges, those who are able to watch, they can still go in the channel and they'll find the story there to follow it up. But basically, there was so many challenges when I was growing up, and I thank God, because those challenges, they make me who I am today. And I'm so glad to continue with my story where I left. Yeah, so Jeff, I think that's enough recap.
That is enough. Before we get there, I understand that you mentioned challenges as you were growing up.
Yes.
Now you got challenges. How did you shift, or even what was the motivation for you to come from the challenge to maybe where you are, or what motivated you maybe to push back the challenges that you got or you saw in life?
Oh yeah, the challenges that I faced, from especially on my primary, I had challenges of school fees and, having parents who had no jobs. And through those challenges, I could see how my parents worked so hard through thick and thin to maintain me in school by being chased and also trying their ways to find something to take us back to school even after being chased. And out of that, I managed to go to high school. And still in high school, it was not easy. There was, again, challenges that we had to just be strong and encourage myself. And out of those challenges, like, for example, like when going to school, and this is a boarding school and you're a girl, and you find there's no shopping, you are only getting the basics as a girl, and you can't look at the other people what they are carrying. And that really encouraged me to focus, because I knew the background where I've come from, it's not the same as the background of the others. And this made me know I'm sent to school just to learn and do the best and take it to my parents, at least to pay them the effort that they are putting in my academic in high school. And out of that, I managed to clear my Form 4 with those challenges of lack of school fees, shopping, you know. A story that I just remembered the other day when we were closing schools, when other children from urban, they were coming with some heavy shopping. As there's this mafuta, we used to call it tajiri, when other children from Nairobi, from different towns, they are coming with lotions, as we could not afford those lotions. So we could just take the containers for Vaseline when schools are being closed, and go, our mom buys us a package, a whole dozen of tajiri, because we were 3 in the same school with my sisters, and we could transfer the tajiri in the Vaseline mkebe. So make it until you make it. Because we don't want to be putting on the table in the morning with the tajiri container. We had to transfer, when we are opening school, all these tajiri in the containers of Vaseline, so that it looked like it.
But between tajiri and Vaseline, which one had a better smell?
Tajiri, tajiri had a better smell, but you could not compare the smell for tajiri and lotions. And the, you know, that picture of Vaseline, you know, the class. When you compare tajiri, the cost for tajiri and Vaseline, really you can't compare. But anyway, it had a very good smell. And we really enjoyed it, and we really appreciated, because that is what our parents could afford. And we made them proud, I can say.
So someone would ask, what are some of the aspects that you used to push yourself to continue, or rather, what were your strongholds while you were facing all these challenges? Remember, you had told us your dad lost his job, and then he came back to, and then your mom got another job. So what kept you going?
What kept us going, it was one, because my mom was still in employment, and of course, handling 3 in high school, school fees was not easy. So what kept us going, it is just pushing it and just knowing our background. That kept on reminding us where you come from, it will not dictate you. And as long as you have God and you know God, and actually, we used to pray. I can say in our school, I was a prefect, all of us, the 3 of us, because we had something that really made us, and that is one, growing in church, knowing God was something that kept us encouraged every now and then. And when we were learning, we knew we have a destiny. So we were not dictated or defined with where we had come from. And we really tried to do our best. When others are showing up the material things, as we really focused on doing our best in class.
What was your target? Now, because you are going through challenges, maybe you are comparing yourself with the other students that you are learning with, what kept pushing you, or even what was the factor of target?
Well, I knew the potential with what I was doing. I knew the potential I had, and I knew what I wanted. Though I did not get the grade I wanted, but at least I was not far from what I targeted. And of course, I used to focus more, and more I loved actually the business studies, because I knew from where I come from, I can business is something that can grow you from.
True.
My mindset was like, I love business, and business is one of the subjects that I performed very well. And it kept me pushing that I know there's something good for me ahead. So the best thing I can do is just to focus, work hard, and just do my best. And that was it.
Okay, there is someone there going through the challenge that you went through. Maybe they feel, maybe they're in primary school, they are heading to high school, they feel that I don't have to transition, I don't have to shift to high school because the challenges I see at this stage, if I transition, the challenges will be harder.
Yeah, what I can tell somebody who is going through a hard time in their primary school, in their high school, just do your best. It doesn't matter the challenges you go through. If you have that opportunity to sit for the exam and you can get the materials from where you are, just do your best. Put your effort in the studies. Even if you are chased from home, just go home and just carry your books, read. And when the time for exam comes, just do your best. And I can tell you, you are not defined again. You are not defined by what you get. You are not defined by the challenges that you go through. There is future. And future and academic, I can say they are totally different. What depends is the mindset that you have. So for me, I can encourage you to work on your mindset and focus on what you want to be. So just to encourage you, just keep on doing the best. Keep on working hard.
Okay, great. Now we left at a point where you finished high school and you were transitioning to college. That is where we left the story hanging at. And we promised our audience that we shall be getting back and picking from that point. So because you are reaching to this point, I think we're going to start there. Because I think it becomes a high challenge or a mountainous task to enter when you are shifting from primary school to college. Because now you're maturing here and maybe there are some targets you have to set in life and there are objectives that you also have to set in life so that you don't drift. Yeah, so drive us now.
Yeah, so from that story of high school, you know, when you finish high school and you're from up country and your parents are all in up country, you have to find a way. But one thing I thank God is there's when you stay with people well, whatever you plant, whatever that seed you plant, it germinates. That's what I can say. Because there's this relative that when we were still going with these challenges, she had her own challenges and she joined us at our home and my mom really accommodated her. And when she was in campus, when she cleared, she got a job. And, you know, that seed germinated because when we cleared high school, she was like, I also stayed at your place, so they cannot stay at home. So I can accommodate them. And that is how now from up country, we got a place where we were to start with from Nairobi. So this relative really accommodated us. And sometimes, as I say, it doesn't matter where you begin. Because when we came, she had small children. And instead of having a house help in the house, I came in and I took up the position and I was able to bring up the children well. And the good thing, she had a big heart. She decided because you know, when the kids go to school, there's so much time. I can get you something to do. And I remember where she was working, she got me like a tea girl job. And again, you have to fake it until you make it, right? Yeah, when I got this tea girl job, it was in Kenya Women Finance Trust. And I was a tea girl and also acting like a receptionist. Literally, I was just a tea girl, but I was still staying in the reception. But of course, I'm the one who was preparing the tea and serving them in the office. Then I was also there to wait for the guests, like a receptionist. And it also, again, exposed me very much. And at around 4, I used to leave and go and pick the children from the school and do my job. So I was doing two-way. I was getting us something small here, and I was also serving in her house like a helper.
Did you ever get to see as if it's wearing you out? Because one part you're raising the kids, and on the other side you have a job.
One thing our mom kept on encouraging us every now and then, she kept on telling us there are things that you swallow and you don't have to keep record.
Yeah.
As long as you know what you want, just stay calm and just be patient, endure, and that time will pass. Because of course in life there are different seasons. So we stayed there. I brought the children up. Then my sisters joined. My young sister also joined me because, of course, as I said, you plant a seed and it germinates. So it germinated through was our cousin, and she really tried her best and to also expose us in one thing or the other. And when I was there, when now my sister took over. Now to stay with the kids, and me I got somewhere. Now now I got to that office working up to 4, and from there I got a place where I did some training on now this designer thing. And there was an opportunity at college in Buruburu where I was offering the physical thing, these skills. And of course, I value skills. As I told you, when we were growing up, we were really introduced to a lot of skills. And of course, I knew when you have a skill, you can't stay at you have something to do. And now we were introduced in the skills in a college that was giving some studies on designer. I did design, and my sister also, now in the same program that I had, working and classes, she also got into the same. So me, I went now a bit higher, now how she remained. And we were able she did hairdressing and beauty, I did fashion and design. So I started doing things. So when I was working here, I was able to buy a machine. And when I bought this machine, at least I could get orders from customers. I could market myself from friends. I could go in the houses and fix these curtains. So it is a skill that I really treasure even up to date. I would say that's what I'm doing currently, but it's a skill that I treasure. I still have my machines. And it extended until some point I opened that business.
And before we reach on to that point, I think what we wanted more is the life in college.
So I'm heading there. So that was just a way of starting myself. So when we were there, of course, now you have exposure, you're meeting different people, you're sharing. When we were in that college, I met someone who now offered sponsorship to go now. You know the way you stay with people, they really analyze you, and they just give a comment like, you people, you are good people, you look like your background is good, and I would really want to help you go to the next level, apart from now doing the fashion and design thing. And when I got that, of course, I went and prayed, and now I started praying about it because, of course, he mentioned, and it's something, not something to start immediately. And you see, when you are hosted by someone, there are things you don't know how to express or how to tell her to approach them. So it came to a point where now it was not easy, because now I had to finish the fashion and design classes. And then now when we were there, we just talked that, and that was it. So when it came time, now we were like in that relative, almost the three of us. So that burden became a bit, even if we are helping her, it was such a burden. And now my elder sister, she had gotten a job. So we decided to just excuse ourselves and move out. And we left in a good way. Actually, we had to get someone for her from our rural place to come and stay with the kids. And as we got a chance to stay now, the three of us, to get a small house where we can just, because now at least we can hustle. I have a machine. My other sis can do hairdressing and beauty, and the other one had done catering. So at least the three of us, we can now hustle Nairobi. At least now we head already away to get into Nairobi and to get to learn a bit of exposure.
And you're not a burden to someone.
We are not a burden to someone. So we got like a small house somewhere, and now from that house is when now we started now opening our minds.
How much were you paying the small house?
We were paying 5,000. It was a single room. It was
The three
of us. So we got that small house, the three of us. We stayed there. Then now when we were staying there, we had to get some now jobs. So me and my sister, we got another job. But I didn't like it at all. I was doing, there's a place you find yourself and you don't like it.
Which is?
But you still pushed on.
But you're still pushed
because
now you have to pay rent. Remember here now you have to eat, you have to pay rent, and you have to dress, and you know you are small girls, you are young girls.
That's true.
So there's so much that you still have to do something. So I got a job in an exhibition to sell clothes. And
where is that?
At Nairobi, Moi Avenue in town. So we were selling clothes, and it was this period of November, December. I only did it for 3 months actually, October, November, and December. Then now that talk again, this guy looked for me, and he got now the sponsorship for me to go now to go back to college. So we had now a length talk. Of course, you know, when we had this discussion, I kept it in prayer because our parents, of course, could not afford to take us to
better college.
So when we were doing that, now this talk again came up. That was in November. So I stayed in that exhibition for 3 months, and it's not an easy work.
Why didn't you like it? Is because of the challenges, or?
Yeah, you know, there are so much challenges. Okay, according to me, I just feel like there's something you do and you feel like, no, I don't belong here. So that's how the feeling that I had, like, I think I can do better. But I needed that job. The good thing, it was during a high season for clothes. In December, of course, the sales are good. And I managed it. When it came to January now, I got the sponsorship. I went to college, NIBS, Nairobi
Institute of Business Studies.
Around Ronald Ngala.
Yes, that time it was in cooperative house. So that is where now I went for my college, and I got now the sponsorship. In college, again, it was not easy, but at least when the fee is paid, the other things can still work. So our mom, now you see, now this time I'm not working.
True.
And my sister also got a sponsorship. She also went to college. And now our small sister is the only one who could get something now with. Then we had now to push it on. So with this scholarship, the fees were used to be paid, but you need food. But one thing I thank our parents is because they did not, even if they could not get the cash as per se, the food, because they were farmers, they could send us food from home. You know, this
through the same matatu you mentioned last time.
Through the matatu, they could send us food, or our dad comes to Nairobi, bring us food. Cereals was the norm in our house. Cereals and ugali, you know, that kienyeji ugali. That was our common meal. Then when we get money, of course, we could now buy some rice, but they really supported us. I remember post-election 2007, as we were indoors, we were in Nairobi. So we were just indoors. In the house, we could not go out. You know, the parents are worried. It was really bad. But the good thing, we had cereals in the house. So we could cook and keep and eat and sleep and wake up and go to the class. So that was not easy. And, you know, sometimes you could even find ourselves, it's on Monday and you don't have a bus fare to go to college. What do? You walk.
From where to where?
From Isili, because we got a place in Isili. Now, from now where we began with like a small house for 5,000, when now we got some way to maneuver these two jobs, we upgraded to a bed sitter in Isili somewhere there, section 3. So that is where now we stayed, and now when we lack school fees, when we lack fare to go to class, we could walk. And you see, walking from Isili to town.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy.
It was not easy. I'm telling you, sometimes you'd get to class and instead of listening, you're sleeping.
You're tired.
Because you're tired.
And how did you maneuver
you were
that
dusty.
there was a problem?
You know, like that time now my sister was having she was doing these promotions, jobs. When she gets clients, she could come and play it in the house. I could also weekends go out and get materials and do those curtains. Remember, I had my machines that I bought them there that time. So in my house was also another place. Weekends I would go out, get clients, come do curtains. So before they pay, at least when they pay, you know there's rent.
Yeah, true.
When you pay rent, whatever remains you keep for your bus fare. When it comes to that dry end, you just walk as you wait to get something from something else. But we thank God because we really pushed it on. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Now, you are used to getting some small amounts of money here and there.
Yes.
Now you are in college under sponsorship. Did you get any opportunity to work apart from the machines that you are using to do your own work?
No.
Because there were places that you... And did you get any challenge transitioning from getting something and here you're in school and you're getting nothing? And again, there are some times you're trekking all the way from Isili and from the points of the legs where we get the angles there, you find so dusty because of the oil that you've applied there. So those are some of the challenges maybe that you went through. How did you overcome these kind of challenges? Because now actually the challenge in transitioning from getting something in your pocket and now you're not getting anything.
One thing that encouraged me, Jeff, is other than anything else, I'm able to go to college. I didn't see myself get there. And when that chance opened, honestly, I just overlooked any other challenge. And I was just encouraging myself every day. And remember, here now we are 3 in the house. And we know where we come from. And we know who we are. And we were so prayerful. So we could just come, sit down and pray. And all you get, a way opens. A way opens. You can just, when you're in college, somebody can just invite you for lunch.
True.
Yeah.
When this person invites you for lunch, you can just say like, I'm busy. You can just create a story, you're busy. Then somebody just sends you the lunch. So the lunch becomes transport.
Inama, like people say, you just inama and then lunch passes and then you eat for supper.
You assume there's no lunchtime.
No, I just, like that was just the thing. I just find a way, this money, instead of me going eat there, imagine somebody takes you for lunch and buys you a lunch for 1,000. And you know that 1,000 can take you a whole week.
A whole week.
You'll find a way.
So how did you behave? How do you behave once you're given those advances?
Like you can give a story. I have a class, I have this. And now you just find a story and tell somebody. Instead, just share the lunch. I'll find time and take it.
But was it hard to open up?
It was very hard.
Why?
Because how people can see is not what you are at that point. And those days, when you want to dress up, you know where to get the best mtush. So you go take the mtush and pick up passy and shine with it.
So you're expensive here, but you like your lunch.
Here, the outlook is very expensive, but
you know
the pockets.
You know the story yourself. So it was not easy. And again, of course, opening that somebody to send you that money, it was not easy because you have to find something that looks like it so that you can. Because life also in college, it has a lot of challenges. On the other hand, those are your tender age, and if you don't have the ground very well, somebody can just lose it. So I was very careful because one thing, as the Bible says, train a child the way they should go. I really appreciate the way I was trained because anytime as a girl child, our mom kept to talk to us, advise us what we should take, what we should say no. And of course, when you're growing, you remember those things. Even when you're about to go down, like you remember there's something I was told. It gets you back.
And Now, in college, I think it is a pivotal stage and point in life where you have to be strong enough.
Yes.
Did you make any mistakes or messy choices in college?
What happened in college?
No matter how small it is.
Yes. The challenges that I had is, you know, when you're in college, you really get approached by many people.
Yeah.
Others are working and...
Or suitors, in terms of suitors.
Yeah. So you are like... but one thing that was really in me, I did not want to look at material.
Yeah.
Considering where I come from and the challenges I've passed through, and all in all, ways have been opening.
Yeah.
I decided just to maintain. I was born again, and I did not want to go back.
Yeah.
So it gave me that conscience of what am I really getting myself in. Remember, in colleges, you find people like they have hairs, they have here and there.
Yeah.
But me, in college, I did not have a relationship.
So you turned them down?
Yeah, I was there as just a mere friend.
Yeah.
When I actually was growing up, apparently most of my friends, just genuine friends, were men, boys, but no special one. They were all just friends like another friend. And you see, in our family, we are just 3 girls. So we were just relating well with these boys, but no special.
Yeah.
The way you can say this was my college boyfriend, no.
Okay. Now, what is the disadvantage of the special one in a school? Because you are addressing a lot of people.
Yeah.
One, they really confuse you. Number 2, when you will find yourself, when you're in class, your mind is just there. You get those texts, you get those charts, and they'll occupy your mind in a way that you'll not be able to get what took you in school. So for me, it was a no, having those relationships. And I can advise the young people who are in school, being in school is just a season.
Yeah.
And you need to maximize. When you don't give the best when in school, later in life, you'll come to regret. Because that time you cannot recover. So just spend your good time in your academic, give your best. If you have to have friends, just have friends. And please be careful and have limits with your friends. Don't just let yourself to everyone. And as I always tell girls, for you as a girl, when you spoil your life when you're a girl, you'll not recover it. Once it's gone, it's gone.
True.
So you have to keep the token.
Yeah.
Because that is what defines a girl. Yeah.
And what was the advantage you can say you got from maybe turning down the suitors or not having any relationship?
The advantage for me, it was...
Academically and socially.
Academically, I was able to do my best. I can say in my class, I was one of the best.
Great.
In few courses. And because I had I had no those suitors, I had just focused. When others are going for those, I could find time and go to do other things that can help me in my life. Remember, these other people, I don't know where they come from. Remember, I know where I come from. And I'm working to pay rent, and I'm working to get my bus fare, and I'm working to sustain myself.
Maybe you are working to
Yes.
change something from
my background.
homestead.
Yes, I am really working and looking forward for that change, because where we come from, of course, there's how people, they undermine you because of your background. They look at you like, as I said, being 3 girls. That notion and perception in rural area where if you are born of girls, they have no much value in the family.
Infested with traditionalists. Who believe into technology and
exactly. So them, they know there's nothing good can come out of girls. So we really want to prove something and also make our parents proud. So I tried my best, and I did very well. And out of my college, I did my diploma. I went back and I did my advance. And I thank God because I passed very well. And I managed it, and immediately after college, I got my first job.
Okay, thank you. We are getting back to you in a few. Let's get to what our audience
Our
are sharing
audiences
to
are
us.
very engaging. In Facebook, I can see Catherine Muoki saying, loving this great show. Kudos to Jeff and the team. Dina Mwania saying, watching and following. Karibuni tena Irene. Immaculate Muthoni saying, tuning in from Tharakanithi. The show is lit. Dina Mwania again saying, watching and following the show. Karibu tena Irene, good to hear your story. It's so encouraging. Ndanu Felista saying, watching live from Saika. Catherine Muoki is watching. Muna saying, watching from Buruburu. Douglas Munyoki saying, tune in from Harambe Estate. Regina Mwikali saying, watching from Kasarani. The story is it's so inspiring. Dina Mwania again, hashtag never despite humble beginnings, loving your story. Catherine Muoki saying, great testimony, Irene, Joel, I'm encouraged. Celesio Njeru saying, watching from Embakasi. Richard Abisai saying, tune in live from Umoja, Moi Drive, getting you loud and clear. Jackie J is also watching. Beatrice Mweni saying, the show is lit. Emmanuel Muita saying, great show, learning a lot. And Ken Olesaina saying, tune in live from Uganda. The show is amazing. Nimebaki hapo kwa mafuta ya tajiri.
And what was the irony of the tajiri? Because kama imeandikwa tajiri, sinafaa ikuwe ya klasi ya juu.
That was so ironious, by the way, because this mafuta, I think it was just to raise people's esteem, those standards.
The standards.
Those can afford the expensive lotions.
You feel rich.
Yeah, you feel rich by the name.
Yeah.
But as of course, that tajiri name, it was not our thing. I can say as from those small exposures of visiting our dads in Nairobi, visiting the relatives, it really exposed us a bit. So we knew this tajiri is not our thing. So that is why we could want the Vaseline, because we know the quality. You can't compare. Of course, anyone would think that tajiri is the best, but as we knew what we wanted and the picture that we wanted to show out there.
But now there is someone who maybe would want to shift immediately to a certain stage where they are not in, and maybe because of last urges, competition, and maybe a way of doing comparison. How can you advise someone of such a sort? Because remember, our audience, this show can never end here. We shall still come back with Irene. The story is not ending here. So we are not suspending you, but we shall be holding you every other time. So you're just getting nuggets of Irene's story, a testimony, a story that was so challenging, but at the end of the story, you can see on your screens how Irene looks like. And remember, you can still visualize, you can picture how Irene was then. So don't give up, don't get challenged by issues, don't die because of issues. Make sure that you don't have suicidal thoughts because of the situations that are surrounding you. Make sure you grow, make sure that you find people you can talk to. So Irene, I think we are getting to you to get your final word. And as I've said, we can never finish here, and I promise that we shall bring you back again here on EBN TV, the Spheres of Life, because I know people are still yearning to get more of your story. So I think, because again, as I take Irene, is that we've not got how he moved on from college, how he got married, how he advanced. A lot of things we've not got from Irene. So we leave you hanging there, but we promise to bring you back home. So Irene, let's have your final word.
Yeah, my word to viewers is just to encourage you. If you are in a situation where people have undermined you because of your background, because of what you are going through, because of the challenges you are going through, one thing I can tell you is, if you know God, just hold on there. You have a destiny, and let no one despise you for who you are. Just stand strong. Do what you can do to maintain who you are. If you can fake it like Irene, you just do it. And make sure your esteem is not down.
Yeah.
Raise your esteem and stay where you belong. It doesn't matter what they see you. You are who God says you are. So stick there, trust in God. There's a way.
Yeah.
There's always a way.
True.
Because when he says he'll make a way, the way will always be clear.
True.
Let me tell you, you can just be facing those challenges, but the future, I can assure you, it's bright.
Yeah.
There's future, and what you're going through, it's not depending on your future, but it depends on the mindset. Focus and do your best.
Now, great. Now, there's something that is, I think, is the current issues that we are having now. I want you to finish with one sentence. I think a message to President, a message to Gen Zs.
Yeah, message to President is the move that you're taking.
Yeah.
Give our Gen Z, listen to them, work out something. There's a way. That is my slogan. There's always a way. And our prayer is God will give you wisdom. Because, again, I said you are not placed there by mistake. Because when you are put on power in leadership, God has destined you for something. And there's a purpose. So our prayer is that wisdom, to impact you with wisdom on how to handle the Gen Z and the citizen. Because as we believe, we also have a voice. So we are waiting for God to give you the wisdom and find a way to work out what is happening. Kenya is a peaceful place. And we really enjoy the peace. And it's a good place for everyone when we have peace. Yeah.
Great.
And to my dear viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to Spheres of Life, live on EBN TV. Thank you for paying attention and also listening to our great guest, Irene. Hope you've learned something, you've been enlightened, you've been encouraged. And also don't forget to tune in for more episodes here at EBN Spheres of Life, where we get to bring you great guests who will get to enlighten you about things and encourage you, and also remind you that life, it's not easy, but there is always a way, like Irene has said. So don't forget that the engagement doesn't end here. You can continue socializing with us on our social media platforms, again on YouTube, The Legend Productions, and also in Instagram and Facebook, Jeff Somba The Legend. Till next time, have a good night.
That's great, and we are so happy. We feel much honored to have you been listening to us throughout that time and duration that we've been with you. And I think most of the things that you've had here are things that will challenge you and things that will uplift you. So every other time we are on air, that will be every Sunday from 7:30 to 8:15. Make sure that you hear, make sure that you hold on to this place, because EBN is your home. The Spheres of Life is where we stand to make sure there's objectivity, there's transparency, there is sanity in every story that we do, and we make sure that we uncover the meanders that you go through in life. So we've been having our host Irene Joel on the topic Scarred Footprint, part 2 of the same, and I promise that we are not ending here. We shall be coming back to you strongly and in a better way that you understand how you should live and how you should engage with people. So tomorrow's week is a new month. We wish you a new month, a blessed month, and a prosperous month. And make sure that you keep safe, make sure that you keep strong, make sure that you are not lured into things that will affect your life. I have been your host, Jeff Kimayu, and until next Sunday, have yourselves a good night.